Hello, all you beautiful people. I am Giulia, and today I want to talk about Mafia romances, but more specifically, I want to talk about the Born in Blood Chronicles, along with the Camorra Chronicles, and then two standalones that are Sweet Temptation and Fragile Longing, and they're all in the same world of the Mafia world of Cora Reilly. So that's what I want to talk about today, basically just the Mafia world of Cora Reilly. Couple warnings going into this video. One, there will be spoilers ahead. I'm kind of just going to be going all over the place, going to be talking about the first 16, 17 books in the series, so kind of a lot of jumping around, kind of a lot of spoilers. If you want to read the series or have not read it, maybe not the video for you. Two, but with that being said, you definitely do not have to read these books or have had read these books before you watch this video. I'm going to kind of give you like a history before, or the best of my abilities, and then just kind of, I just want to talk about the craziness of Mafia romances, and especially like Cora Reilly's Mafia romances, so no worries there. Three, I would look up the warnings before you read the books, just so you are prepared for that, because there are a lot of triggering topics for sure talked about it. I mean, even besides just them killing, you know, as it being a Mafia book, I think there's a lot of things that are very sensitive. So definitely, please look up the warnings before you decide to read it. Sorry, I have to get my notes prepared. I literally was writing notes in my class. This is my planner for school. Oops. And I don't even know how to do this. I just wanted to make this video when I started reading. I read the first one, which is Bound by Honor. I started reading it just because Steph Bohrer, I think it's Steph Bohrer, she's a YouTuber. She had it in like her TBR, or I think she had it in like her 2021 books she read. And she was like, it's Mafia romance. I read like the first like 4 or something, and she wanted to get back into them. And I don't know why, but right when 2022 started, I was like, I want to start a new book. Like, what should I start? I was looking at my TBR, and I was like, a Mafia romance just sounds like so good. Like, I don't know if you've ever been in that mood. You probably have if you clicked on this video, of like, I don't particularly like Mafia romances. I guess it's a lie. I do enjoy Mafia romances, but like, I understand that they're mostly bad. Like, not badly written, I'm not saying that, but like, women have no rights. Like, it's wild. The world of Mafia is wild. Like, but like, sometimes it's just what I'm looking for. Sometimes that's just like what I want. I know it's going to be a story of like a kind of a bad boy, good girl kind of story trope. It's going to be like very brooding. I don't know. Sometimes it just hits. Went into, as I said, started reading Bound by Honor, and then quickly realized there was 8 books in the Born in Blood Chronicles. And then when I was going through the Born in Blood, then the Camorra Chronicles kind of like intertwine with them. So I was like, well, I have to read these then. And then by that point I was just like sucked in. And then the 2 standalones I just read, because I was like, I have to, at this point, I need to know what happens. But anyways, so I think we should start with like a little history. Like, I'm not going to be like the history of the Mafia, because I don't even know. I only know the history of this Mafia world, which I don't even know if it's rooted in any truth. I know nothing. There's 3 big like powerhouses within the Cora Reilly Mafia cinematic universe. So there is New York, the Familia, and this is probably the one that I would say this is the one that is most talked about in the Born in Blood Chronicles, or most followed, I guess. The Born in Blood Chronicles follows all 3, but like mostly the family of the Vitiellos. I don't know, you know, that family, Luca's family. Fun. Luca, who is the capo, big, great, cool. There's his brother Matteo, who is his concierge. They don't really have like an enforcer that they really talk about in New York, but they have like a really good soldier who, spoiler alert, then becomes captain, and his name's Romero. Those are the boys you need to know for at least Born in Blood. Great. Lovely. Then we have the outfit, which is Chicago. This is the Caviellos. Again, I think I probably butchered that, but we're going to go with it. And this is, again, we're like skipping and like their fathers are capo first and then they like have to die or whatever, but we're just skipping past that because who cares. So Dante is the capo. He is the only person you need to know of importance in Chicago. And again, like, I want to preface this of like, a lot of times I'll be talking about like only the men, and I don't mean that to say like the women aren't important in these books, but that's kind of how Mafia books are, of like the women are just their wives. So it's like, I don't know how to explain this to you better of like than giving you the men's positions, because like Luca's future wife lives like is from Chicago, but then she is basically sold off to New York. So it's like in Mafia romances, women don't really have a lot of like say in their life. So I am just going to tell you, they only kind of really matter when they're like married. So I'm just going to tell you like where they end up instead of like the whole journey, because I feel like that would be too confusing. So I'm telling you the men because the men never change where they are, except for one, but I'll tell you about him and it's fine, whatever. And then we have the Camorra, which is personally my favorite of the three. I love the Camorra Chronicles. I think they're the best of the books. Not all of them. I don't like Adamo's book, but we'll get to that. But I love the Camorra Chronicles. They're my favorite, like, family. Yes, they're the Falcones, which is also the best name, I think. I definitely know how to say theirs. So exciting. But it follows the four brothers, the four Falcone brothers. So the oldest is Remo. He is the capo. And then you have Nino, his younger brother, who is the concierge, and then the enforcer is Fabiano. Remember Fabiano from The Outfit? Yes, scandal of the century. So basically those are the big three powerhouses. Craziness. Lovely. So as I said, there are 17 books in between the two series plus the two standalones. And that's not even all the books she has out. I did not read there are 2 books out already of, I think it's called like the Sins of Our Fathers series, which are literally the children from all of these people I've been reading about. It's their children and it's their books. So it's them like 18 years later and like they're finding love and getting married, which is insane. And I will be reading them, but there's only 2 out now. So I was kind of like, I don't want, it felt like a different, it was still the same world, but it felt like a different like beast. And I was like, I feel like we should just stick to Cora Reilly's universe. So of the 17 books, there are not 17 couples because 3 couples get 2 books, and then there's one anthology that's like an anthology of all of the Born in Blood people. It's just like little short stories or whatever. So I'm just going to quickly give you every couple and where they, like what family they belong to and how many books they have. I think that would make sense. Okay, so you have Aria and Luca, who, remember, Luca is the capo of the Familia New York. They get 2 books. You have Dante and Valentina, which, remember, Dante is the capo of the Outfit in Chicago. They also get 2 books. We have Matteo and Gianna, which Matteo is the concierge and the little brother of Luca in the Familia. They have 1 book. Lily and Romero, or Liliana, I think I said earlier, but she goes by Lily sometimes. They are also in the Familia. Cool. They get 1 book. Growl and Cara. Growl, also known as Ryan, but I feel like I should say Growl because it's like only how they refer to him by, even though it's very cringy. They have 1 book and they start out in the Camorra, but they end up in the Familia. So then the Camorra series, the Camorra Chronicles, whatever it's called. Anyways, to go quickly, it's Fabiano and Leona, which these are all in the Camorra. Nino and Kiara, Serafina and Remo, Gemma and Savio, and Adamo and Dinara. Great, cool. I'm just going to kind of spit at the camera of like what I'm thinking in my brain, because this is not really a very planned video. This is very just like, I read these books and my brain was like, I need to talk about these to someone, but I don't know anyone in my life who has read these books or even like appreciates a Mafia romance. So I'm kind of just using y'all as like my person I can just vent to, kind of. So apologies for that. So I think I'm just going to kind of go through and talk about books that I liked specifically, and then like plot twists that were crazy, and then kind of ignore the rest of them, and that's that. Okay. I think I want to talk about Dante and Valentina's first book, which is bound by Duty, which is the second in the Born in Blood Chronicles. Oh my gosh. This is so boring. Literally so boring. Basically, the plot is Dante is becoming capo, so like he has to get remarried because his first wife died. So he chooses Valentina. Yes, she gets no choice. Of course not. Valentina is also a widower. Her husband like died in battle or something. I don't remember. And it's like, okay, great and lovely. What a fun thing. Great. Literally so boring. Literally like, I know Mafia romances, like, the men are bare minimum. Men are bare minimum. It's literally like, oh my gosh, you didn't hurt me, swoon, like, you're my savior, you're the best. Or like, they say I love you, and it's like the best thing in the world, and it's like, they just said they would, like, I don't know, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's very like, bottom of the barrel, men do very little, and we're like, these women are like falling to their knees. Me along with them sometimes, I'm not going to deny it. But I think this is one of those cases of like, I feel like Dante does nothing for Valentina. And Valentina is like, she's like smart. She's like, I would say she's one of the smartest of the girls. And for what? She doesn't do anything. Like, she's just like, Dante's amazing. Like, oh my God. I'm like, what did he do? What did he do? And of course it's an accidental pregnancy trope. Like, hot opinion. I do not hate an accidental pregnancy. Honestly, sometimes it's kind of the vibe. Sometimes I kind of enjoy it. But I do not like an accidental pregnancy when that's like the only reason they get back together. Like, what's the purpose of that? Because then I feel like they don't really love each other. And then like once the kid's older and like kind of out of their lives again, they didn't fix their problem. Like, you know what I mean? Like, a baby won't fix your marriage. Anyways, so yeah, that's Dante and Valentina. I do want to talk about Mateo and Gianna too. So this is the third. This is Bound by Hatred. I was so excited. They set this up, Cora Reilly set this up so it was like enemies to lovers. Like, they were all kind of enemies to lovers, but like kind of ish, but like enemies to lovers. Like, you don't have too many girls that are like really like speaking out, really being like saying I don't like this, saying that they don't like the Mafia world and stuff. Gianna did. And I was so excited because like Cora teases a lot of the like other characters and stuff, obviously, in her books. The plot of it is basically like Gianna is promised to Matteo, and she like hates Matteo, so she doesn't want to follow through with the marriage, and she like hates the Mafia, so she wants to like get out, so she enlists her older sister Aria to help her to like escape, basically. And that she does, and she escapes to Europe, and it's gone for like, what, I think it was like 3 months. It wasn't even that impressive. I was like, and she's like constantly worried. I'm like, what kind of life is that? I don't know, because they're hunting her down. I'm like, what's the purpose of this? But anyways, she goes to Europe, gets to like live her like normal-ish life, and then she gets captured by the Mafia and by Matteo, and she has to marry him, and then she like hates him and resents him. Great. I was like, this sounds like such an interesting book. No, it was not. No, it was not. It honestly, I am so upset because Matteo is my favorite guy, I would probably say, from the Born in Blood series. He's just very fun. Love him. He's just very funny. I don't know. He's just a vibe. He's just a vibe. He's the very like, he's the like snarky bad boy. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like, it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun when they're like not like all moody and angsty, when they're like, no, like I'm messed up, but like I can crack a joke. Like, thinking very Jimmy from Stall, but that's, you know, a niche group. But yes, very Jimmy from Stall. Those kind of vibes. Just like, you know, just like funny, whatever. And Gianna was so annoying. Now, do I resent her from trying to escape the Mafia? No, but I'm also like, what is your plan here? She, again, like I said, she escaped to Europe for 3 months and like could not even live in a place for more than like a week. And people got killed because of her, and now she has this like weighing on her conscience. And I'm like, for what? You did that for what? You didn't even like enjoy it that much. You couldn't see your family. Like, I was like, it's just not worth it to me when you have someone who's like Matteo, who's like gorgeous and like funny and like is gonna be good to you. Like, I don't know, maybe that's just like me being not smart, but like, you're not gonna be able to escape the Mafia life. No one can escape the Mafia life. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just seems silly to me, but whatever. So she was really annoying. I'm gonna flash forward to Liliana's and Romero's book. Again, I was so excited for this book. I think it's Bound by Temptation. Yeah. I was so excited for this book because they hyped it up so much, because Liliana is the youngest of the sisters, and so she's been like around Romero a lot because Romero is Aria's bodyguard. So she's been around him a lot, and she's had a crush on him since she was like, I don't know, like 16 or something like that. I don't know, maybe younger, 14, maybe 14. I don't know, but she had like a crush on him, and he was very like, obviously you're underage. But she like always loved him, and I was excited because this book was kind of good. But I think this might be my favorite book in the Born in Blood series, maybe, because basically the plot is like I said, Lily's loved Romero forever. Romero's been like, obviously you're a child, no. And then after she turns 18, she stays with her two sisters, Aria and Gianna, with their husbands in like a beach house in the Hamptons, to like get away or whatever because their mom just died. While they're there, Romero's obviously there because he's the bodyguard of Aria, and they start going closer and closer, la la la, and you know what they do. And basically they like fall in love with each other, and it's great and all, but Romero is only a mere soldier and also a soldier for the Familia, while Lily is part of the outfit, so not great. And she's like high ranking because she's the concierge's daughter, so like she can't marry a soldier, like that's too low for her. So they're in kind of a pickle. And then she eventually, her dad like marries her off to this like really old, creepy, gross man, and Romero's really upset and jealous, but it's like, what are we gonna do? And it's great, and it's like all of this angst, all this jealousy, all this like kind of like more of like a situation that I'm like, oh my goodness, like what are they actually gonna do? Like this is actually like a really bad situation that's gonna cause like war between the outfit and the Familia. And that it does. They eventually steal, or Liliana leaves with them. I guess they don't steal her, but Liliana leaves the outfit and joins the Familia and marries Romero, with Luca and Matteo and Aria and Gianna's help. Great, whatever. But because all of the sisters went there, Fabiano's left at home alone with their very abusive father. And basically that's why he joins the Camorra, because his father leaves him to die in the desert in Russian territory, and Remo, the oldest Falcone brother, helps him, saves him. Lovely. He goes to the Camorra. Okay, I'm going to talk about Growl and Cara's, I can't believe I'm literally saying Growl, really quickly, just because it's literally insane. This book probably was like one of the weirder ones. Sorry, excuse me in my Zane cup. Basically, this is the only one in the Born in Blood Chronicles that is in Las Vegas, but basically Growl is the enforcer there. He's like super brutal and no one really talks to him, and they literally call him Growl because he's the bastard son of the capo of Las Vegas. I don't remember his first name, something Falcone. I don't know. He dies soon, so don't get attached. He's also horrible, so whatever. Basically, Cara's dad like goes against Falcone and all of this issues, and whatever. So basically he gets killed, and so her and her little sister and her mom are like, what are we supposed to do? Blah, blah, blah. And as a like present to Growl, Falcone, like the oldest Falcone, gives Cara to Growl as like a present. Yes. And then the rest of the story literally takes place basically in Growl's home. And it's just like Cara has to live there now. And Growl is like so self-deprecating. Like it's insane. He hates himself so much and thinks he's like this monster, this beast, whatever. Which was kind of interesting because all of the other men love themselves. They're very full of themselves. And Growl was the only one that was like, no, like I'm a monster. But yeah, and it's just a very weird dynamic because literally she's been kidnapped by him, so it's very Stockholm Syndrome-esque. I'm gonna sound like a hypocrite later when I'm talking about another kidnapping situation that I liked, but we're gonna ignore that for now. And it just was like, it was lacking anything. Growl gives us nothing. Growl is super boring. He's just like a big man. That's like all. And it's very boring. And like, I feel like, you know, sometimes like when like, it's like the like, oh my gosh, he like doesn't say much, but he like cares. Like I'm thinking like Aiden in like The Wall of Winnipeg. Not like that. It's not like that. It's very like if Aiden was badly written. Sorry, Cora. So not very big fan of that. Fabiano and Leona's book. First of all, I loved Fabiano. It's a great storyline, great setup. He like was part of the familia, or no, he was part of the outfit, and then like his father wants to kill him and like leaves him for dead, whatever. Great. Love the angst, love all of that. No, they do him so dirty. I'm sorry. He comes with this girl, Leona, which is the only outsider, which is like kind of fun. But I do not understand why this boy, who has now grown up and is part of the Camorra and hates the outfit with all of his being, why would they not put him with someone who is from the outfit? That would have been such a better book, because it would have been way more angsty and way more like, he would have been like, but I hate the outfit, but like I really like her, or like it could be like he's tricking her, or like something fun, or like even someone else like whose parents like left her to like die and then she was also taken by the point. Anything would have been so fun. Instead they just like threw away all that angst he has for the Camorra. Nope, not for the Camorra, for the outfit, and just gave him an outsider. For what? It's so boring, and I don't understand why. Leona is fine. She's very boring to me. Literally, she's just like, I mean, it's interesting because she's an outsider, but I'm also like, but I'm not interested. So Fabiano's book was a huge disappointment to me. I would say probably the biggest disappointment I had of all of them was Fabiano's book, just because I was so excited, and like he'd been talked about literally since the first book, and this was on my, like this was way into the series, and they did not pull it out. Nino and Kiara's books, they have 2 books. Both books, you know, I like them. I was not expecting to like them so much, but I think it's mostly because of Kiara. I think like, if I had to be like one of the girls, and I'd probably say most like Kiara, so maybe that's why. But Kiara's like so sweet, and she just adds like, she's the first girl that is in the like Camorra Falcone family, which is also, I have a bone to pick with that too. Of they always constantly say, the Falcone brothers say that Fabiano is their brother, blah blah blah, but he's not. He doesn't live in the Falcone mansion. They don't ask him. They don't like. He doesn't have the same power they do. Like they're like, you're still just the enforcer. I'm like, so they don't treat him like a brother. I guess they pick and choose when they treat him like a brother. It's very annoying, and it's like probably one of my biggest pet peeves about the entire series, the Camorra Chronicles, just because like they say Fabiano is a brother and then don't treat him like a brother, and it's like, for what? Anyways, Kiara was the first girl in the Falcone mansion, and I think she adds like a fun little girly touch. I'm not gonna say too much about the book because it's kind of just like, it's not like too interesting of a plot, I don't think. I just think it's like more well written, great. Now, this next one is my favorite in all of the books, I think. It is Serafina and Remo's book. So Remo is the capo of the Camorra, and he kidnaps Serafina while she's in her limo on the way to her wedding, and she's a part of the outfit in Chicago. So basically he has her kidnapped, and he keeps her for 2 months, and they like have all this, they bond, they kind of fall in love, but like not really, and then he lets her go because he's like, if she really loves me, she'll come back to me, like I don't want this to be like a Stockholm syndrome type deal, so like I'm gonna let her go, let her like kind of make her choice, whatever. Gives her back to her family in the outfit. Basically all this stuff happens. Remo is eventually like captured, whatever, blah blah blah. Also Serafina was pregnant with twins. So she has a boy, Nevio, and a girl, Greta, which are Remo's children. And she eventually actually saves Remo from her family that's going to torture him, and takes him and her kids, and they all go to the Camorra. So she like leaves her entire family for this man. Anyways, she's probably the dumbest of the girls, just for like basically what she's doing, aka staying with her captor when she didn't have to. She literally got away. Like, because Cara did get away, but Cara's just irrelevant in my brain. Like, I just really don't care about Cara. But I guess Cara's stupider than. But Serafina, I love Serafina, like I said. She's super cool. I don't know why I love this book. It's so awful, like, morally. It's so... like, it's literally a kidnapping story. It's literally so bad. I don't know, but I love it. It's so good. I would highly recommend this book. If you're in the mood, again, look up the warnings, look up everything. Again, it is a kidnapping romance, mafia romance, so, you know, a lot going on, but I do think it's a very good book. Adamo and Dinara's book sucked. Probably one of my least favorite in the entire world. It sucked. It was so bad. I was looking forward to it because I love the Camorra Chronicles, like I said, and Adamo was the youngest brother, whatever. This was one of her newest releases too, so I was like, oh great, cool. It sucked. It was so bad. I didn't care about anything. It was like a lot to do with racing, but in like a weird way. So I was like, it was like in the mafia world, but then I was supposed to care about like them racing cars. I was like, I don't care about that. Also, again, I thought it was like they set up Adamo really well in the other books of being like this like troubled guy who like morally is really against what they're doing, and then she erased all that. She just like erased it and was just like, bleh. And then like also he's the only brother that like doesn't want anything to do kind of with the other brothers, like not anything to do, but he like doesn't live with them. He doesn't really like interact with them much. I'm like, for what? Like, make it a happy family. They were a happy family, and then like, I don't know. I was kind of shocked because I was hesitant about the two standalones because I was like, well, I don't know if I'm really going to read them because they're like, like I said, they're in the same world, but they're kind of just like thrown in there. I will say, I think it's Sweet Temptation or Sweetest. I don't know which one. Anyway, that's Cassio and Giulia's book. Loved it. Very good. I mean, not like, again, like I'm not talking like, I'm not gonna give it like 5 stars, but like for a mafia romance, I think it's very good. And then Danilo and Sofia is kind of sucked. I kind of didn't like it. I was looking at Cora Reilly's website because I was just like, oh, I was like making sure I read all the books that were out or whatever. And I literally squealed when I went to her like FAQs, and she wrote like, she had like a whole list of other books in this world that she said she's for sure gonna write. 16 books. 16 books. Besides the already 17 books that I've read that she is confirming will have a book. I squealed so loudly. I literally called my best friend after too, and I was like, girl, I know you don't care, but this is so cool. But I realized Cora puts out about like 4 books a year-ish, which is so insane. That's so impressive. So that'll take about 4 years. Great, cool, but I know I will not be as invested in these characters as I am right now, because right now I'm like, oh my god. But anyways, I just wanted to mention that because I am very excited. I will read Marcella's books. So very exciting things. Literally have been caught up in this mafia world. It's, you know, it's a lot. This book series is literally insane. I would recommend it if you like mafia romances. I think it's a great mafia romance, all of them. I think that, like I said, I think the Camorra Chronicles is better, but I don't think it would be as good if you did not read in the correct reading order and like read the Born in Blood Chronicles first. So I would suggest doing it in the reading order. LOL, I also think it's funny because I was like, what am I going to read after I'm done reading these heavy mafia romances? I was like, what am I going to read next? So I was like, what book am I going to read next? This is like really important. And I am happy to say that I will be doing a January reading wrap up. So you can go see that. Actually, you know what? I'm going to keep the book a secret till then, but it is lighthearted and one that is huge in the book talk community. Book talk and booktube community. So be ready for that. I'm probably not going to do a video on it, but I probably will talk about it in my reading wrap up. So thank you, all you beautiful people, for watching this. It means literally the world to me. I have so much fun making these videos. Thank you, and see ya.